Hey, Star fam, how are we doing? Oh, Lord, it's finally over. It's finally, oh, it's over now. It's over now. I feel like we can make it. This show is over now. Oh my gosh, this was a mess. And I have to say this last episode of this season, guys, I'm feeling something. I'm feeling something. And before I get into the review, I will just say this. This season felt very manufactured to me. It felt scripted. And I didn't want to say anything because I just felt like I just didn't have enough proof. This last episode gave me all the proof that I need. I think that this was a scripted season. And I feel like when everything is said and done and then everything eventually comes out, we're going to find out a lot of these people were paid to either get married or paid to act like they like each other. Like there is something going on. And I think we're going to find out probably 10 or 15 years later. But if I'm still on YouTube, I'm going to come back on here and be like, aha, I told you guys. Because this felt very off to me. Like it didn't, this last episode, nothing about this felt authentic. Nothing. Let's get into it. Oh, hi, I'm Nikki.Star TV. I do me. What the hell is this? What was that? Oh, that's granola from my yogurt. Hi, my name is Nikki.Star TV. I do comedic reviews of your favorite reality TV shows, and sometimes films. We got a lot to get into. I am going to first talk about the review for about 30 minutes, sometimes an hour if it's 2 episodes or if I like it that much. I didn't really get much from this, so I don't think this review would be long. But after that review, I hop into the comment section and the Star family and I discuss the show and whatever else we want to talk about. So, welcome if you're new here. Let's get into it. I feel like for me, I'm going to watch Boston because I just feel like Boston is just going to be a hot mess. But I think I'm checking out of Love is Blind after Philly. Oh, wait, they're doing Atlanta too. I'm going to watch Atlanta and Boston and then Philly. I think for me, Philly is going to be my last Love is Blind. I think the show has run its course. I think it's run its course, but I got to see how my city play out. I got to see if I know somebody because every time there's a Philly show, I always know somebody and I have to stop reviewing it. Here's the thing. If there are people on the show that I know, depending on if they're terrible or not, I'll keep on reviewing it and I'll get them to come on the show, to talk to me about the show if they can, before or after, because I know they're under contract. But yeah, I'm excited about that season. I am. It's just because, I feel like I want to know people on there. But we will see. We will see. So let's get into the first wedding, which was Mike and Emma. The last episode left us on a cliffhanger with Mike and Emma. We had Emma saying yes, that she will marry Mike. And then we ended with Mike having some hesitation. So Emma's like, I've known for a very long time that I wanted to do this with you. And yes, I do. I say yes to marrying you. Mike takes some hesitation. He looks down, he looks up at her, and he says, of course, I do want to marry you at some point, but I just can't do it right now because I don't know if you want to have kids. And Emma was like, oh, okay. Her reaction was so lackluster. Like it was like, oh, her mother had the reaction I thought that Emma was going to have because Emma's mom was like she was gagged, but Emma was like, oh, alrighty. I'm like, what is going on? Even Mike, when he said that he was not sure if she wanted kids and that he had to walk away, like the both of them were so unattached that there was like no emotion or anything. And I'm like, you guys are at the altar about to say yes or no to being married. But it didn't happen. One is a yes, the other is a no, and there's not even little emotion. There's no emotion. And I'm like, what is happening here? And listen, I wasn't shocked that Mike said no because you have to remember, he asked her if she wanted to have children in his freaking before pre-vows. And she said she does want to marry him, but she never said anything about the kids. So I think we all kind of knew that it was going to be a no because she didn't say, yes, I do want to marry you. And yes, I do want to have children with you. She didn't say that. So I think we all were like, okay, it's going to be a no because that was like a really big deal for him. But even that, like, there was no emotion, guys. It felt so fake to me. It felt so fake. Like, I'm like, you guys don't feel anything? Not a tear is shed, not a, oh, what? Like, the audience had more of an emotional reaction than Mike and Emma. And I'm like, did you guys talk before you got here? Or was this scene filmed so many times that you guys just can't act it anymore? They felt so weird, so odd. It gave our contract is up with the show, so we don't have to fake it anymore. And I'm like, Love is Blind, you're starting to lose your credibility. Well, you've been losing it, but it's just like now it's just looking like you guys are picking people who just want to be on TV. Like they literally gave, oh, this is the final episode, so let's wrap it up. No kind of emotion to a really big decision, no kind of heartbreak. The parents were the only ones who like really felt some sort of way. This just felt very uneventful. And then Mike it goes and talks to his family. He was like, we weren't ready to get married. Why are you guys on this show? But I think he didn't know the cameras was on him, so he was just like, we weren't ready to get married. And then he like switches up. He says, well, she didn't want to have kids, so that was like my thing. I wasn't sure, so yeah, that's why. But he was like, when the camera was not facing him, because remember the shot where he was talking to his dad and his family, the shot was a long shot. So the camera was nowhere near him and it was not facing him. So he was just like regularly talking, like he was in the freaking break room of a studio. And he was like, we're not ready to get married. Of course not. The whole act dropped. And I was like, oh. So Ohio was playing. Ohio got up there and played. These people wanted to be on TV. That's all this is. That's all this is. Because if you're not ready to get married, why did you do this show? That's why I said I feel like Love is Blind has run its course because people are just coming on the show to get famous. The idea of finding your partner, I think it's done. I think it's done. And we will get to why why Vic and Christine just did not feel real. But this right here fell apart so fast. I was just like, oh, yeah, y'all were playing the whole time. Y'all were playing these characters. This was so inauthentic. Mike and Emma played in our face. Even when they go to talk, it's so chill. I'm like, this is your freaking wedding day. And then was like, oh, I was going to get there with you. Eventually, I felt like I could. And Mike was just like, yeah, well, I wasn't sure. And because I wasn't sure, I just couldn't say no at that time. And was like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Huh? This was weird. I just felt like they agreed to do the show at some point, probably before, or maybe the show just cast them. It was just like, we need a couple that has some emotional issues, and we need you to play the girl who doesn't want to have kids, and we need you to play the guy that really, really wants kids, and we need to watch how this relationship, you improvise how this relationship can and cannot work. That's what it gave. This just was not real. This was not real at all. They just agreed to do the show and just work on some light acting. I would not be surprised if these two are actually actors trying to break into the industry. If you see them in commercials, just know you got played. You got played. Um, it is what it is. This was uneventful. It did not feel real. I'm interested to see how they're going to play this out at the reunion, because this just fell apart too quickly for me to believe that this was ever real in the first place. Jordan and Amber. So, Jordan's family was very concerned. Like, they all seemed so sad. Like, Jordan's about to get married, and his family is like, "Oh, we're scared." Like, you could hear a pin drop in Jordan's room while he was getting ready, and his family came in. It looked like they were all had like they all had just been crying, Jordan included. He's breathing heavy. His family is breathing heavy. They're staring. The sisters are like rubbing their face and looking down, and they're looking at their little brother in concern. And I'm like, what was the conversation before this? Because we open up their scene in Jordan's dressing room with his family, and everybody's sad. So I'm like, what was the conversation that led up to this? Or were you guys just sitting in this room quiet, like quiet mourning while the cameras were being set up? What did we miss? Jordan looked terrified. And then when he's about to walk down the aisle, his sister is out there with him, and she's just like, "Are you okay? We're here. We're here for you if you need us." Like, "Well, I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We got you back. Like, we got you. We got you." And she's literally looking at her little brother like, "Are you all right? You sure?" And he's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do." Then he hugs his sister, and she's like, "It's okay." And she rubs his back, and then he lets her go. And then she's like, "We're here for you." And while she's saying, "We're here for you," he hugs her again. And I'm like, no shade. If you got to go through all that, baby, leave. Baby, leave. Don't do it. Don't do it. You need to be up there happy and sure. If this is what you were like before you walk down the aisle, don't do it. He was near tears. Then we get to Amber. Is she Romney Child? Do y'all remember that show on TLC, My Big Bleep Wedding? Because I found out that the G word is a slur for the Romney Child people. Esmeralda's people from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Is she Romney Child? Because she gives Romney Child, from the orange tan to the big hair to the boobs to the makeup to her wedding dress. Everything was Romney Child. Let me know, because that would have been very interesting. That would have been an interesting thing to cover, like how these two are meshing culturally. Because the Romney Child people, they don't think they white. Y'all gotta watch that show. They talk about white people like they don't look just like, anyway, child. But she was giving me Romney Child. Everything just was giving. Is she from Virginia? Because a lot of them are in Virginia. My God, today. So anyway, this is girl power, right? Women's empowerment, Amber. And I was just really excited to see her in all her glory, and just so happy we finally saw her beautiful daughter. And she just seemed very, very happy, right? Right before she's about to walk down the aisle, her brother says, wait, let me get her brother's exact words, because I was so disappointed. Right before he walks her down the aisle, he looks at her and he says he thinks it's going to be a no for Jordan because he needs more time. Amber was so happy until that moment. Immediately the smile dropped from her face, and she started to look concerned. And I'm like, why would you say it? I just felt like her brother should have been like, "Do you want to do this? Because if you don't have to. I got your back." Or Jordan's a good guy. I am for him. If this is what you want to do, we got your back. We are here for you, and we think this is a good union. Something like that. But to look at your sister and say, I think he's going to say no because you got a lot going on. What? That was a terrible thing to say. And the fact that he didn't know, one, that it was terrible, or two, he didn't even see how she reacted to that. I felt so bad for her in that moment. All the joy left that woman, and it was all because of her brother, who was supposed to be like her biggest support on that day. This is the dude that's walking her down the aisle and giving her away to Jordan. You just let her know that she's not worthy of him. That's how you feel about her. Ew. I felt so bad for her. I was screaming at my TV like, why would you say that? Why would you say that to her? It was so mean. So anyway, Amber and Jordan, they give their vows. Amber's vows. Okay, girl. She was trying to do a little comedy hour. I don't know if she was nervous, but she kept on like doing these jokes and looking out at the audience like, and I'm like, oh, Amber, your brother, he just took the wind out of your sails. I felt so bad for her. So she gives her vows, and then it's time for her to say if she would I do say I do. She does say I do, right? And then it's to Jordan. He gives his vows, and then it's time for him to say, I do. Before he even says anything, he goes, and she looks at him. She said, I understand if you have any doubts because I got a lot going on. She never felt that way before her brother said that. Her brother put that in her. Her brother sowed that seed of doubt in her. And now women's empowerment Amber is cutting herself down a peg and saying she gets if that man doesn't want to be with her because she got a child, a daughter. Like, I got a lot going on. What do you have a lot? What is a lot going on? You got more going on in him in a good way. You got a great job, a beautiful house that you did not get help with. You did that on your own. You're upgrading him. He's in Section 8. You're going to be inviting him into your fairy tale land. He's Shrek at the damn swamp. You're the one in the castle. But her brother, supposed to be her protector, made her feel less than. So at the altar, before this man can say anything, she tells him, I understand if you have doubts because I got a lot going on. She minimized herself in that moment, and it broke me because we never saw her do that. She was always very sure in herself, and all it took was a man in her life that she trusted for everything that she worked for and built in herself to be torn down. I hated that moment. I hated that moment. And then Jordan, he breathes in and he exhales again. His family, near tears, they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And he goes, I want to follow my heart. I do. And everybody goes, and then the officiant goes, did you say I do? He said, yeah, I do. And he like exhales and everybody goes, oh, because they all thought that he was going to say no. So I'm just like, what happened? His family was like sad when we saw them in this episode. The audience, especially his side, was terrified and scared. What did we miss for everybody to have that reaction to be like, oh, it's happening? They were all confused and terrified. What did we miss? Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. Even the officiant was confused. She couldn't believe he said yes. Something happened, y'all. I don't know if production had to drag him back. Something happened because everybody's reaction was so odd. Um, and he didn't seem sure at all. He did not seem sure at all with that. That was the most unsure I've ever witnessed on this show. I don't know if they're going to be together at the reunion. That was an odd wedding. Very, very odd. And I don't care how the show tried to make it look with them like toasting at the end and dancing at the reception. I don't care how they tried to make that look like a fairy tale. That man was not that man, he wasn't sure. He had to be convinced. Something happened, and I hope, you know what I was about to say, I hope we find out at the reunion. We won't. We won't. Those reunions give us nothing. Nothing. I will also say I watched his older sister. I don't think she wanted him to say yes. And I don't think it's because she doesn't like Amber. I think it's because she knows her brother and she probably had a prior conversation with him. The look in her face, she was just like, she didn't know what to do. And I think it's because she knows he should have said no. This was weird. This was weird. I don't think they're going to be together at the reunion. I do not think they're going to be together at the reunion. And if they're not together, Amber, I feel like you just need to date till your daughter is out the house. And I mean like college, like not out the house in college. After she graduates, she decides what she wants to do. You know, if she wants to move back home, then that's a conversation that you guys are going to have. But watching your daughter be so involved in that wedding and watching her see you up there in your wedding dress, and you know, when Jordan said I do, that baby broke down crying. She can't go through this again. She can't go through this again. I'm not saying that you shouldn't live your life and have a good time. I think it's probably best, if this doesn't work out, for it to be you and her in that home. Date, have some lovers. But I just think you shouldn't upset her environment anymore. My God, today. My God, today. I am very concerned about these two. Let's get to, this was no surprise. This was no surprise. I wasn't shocked at all. I would have been shocked if they would have made it to the altar. I would have been shocked if they would have made it to the altar. So Brittany and Devonte are sitting down in their living room, and Brittany is sitting there acting like she called off the wedding. She's just like, I had some doubts. So, you know, and there were just some things that I just couldn't get the answers to. And I just didn't want to involve my family in all of that. And then you get to Devonte, and he's like, yeah, you know, it's the right thing to do. He does not care. She's giving this whole speech about their relationship, and he's ready to go. He's ready to go and go get a white woman. He is not listening to anything that she says, and she is giving this whole speech about how they're still engaged, just not ready. Some things need to be worked on. And I'm like, you guys aren't, no, not only are you no longer engaged, you're not even friends. That man is going to walk out that door and never talk to you again. You'd be lucky if he even looks at you at the reunion. But she cannot see it. She's like talking like they're still engaged. She even says it. Devo and I, we're still together. We're still engaged. We're going to get married. He's my person. And Devonte is like, okay, well, I'm gonna head out. She's saying they're still engaged. He's not responding to that. He's not even looking her in the eye. He's like, oh, well, you know, I should go. She is not picking up on any of this man's social cues. I will say this. The only thing that I will give him is a prenup. I have changed my views on the prenup because I was just like, why does she have to sign a prenup? What does he have? Even if he has a pair of Nike socks. This is a real quick process and social experiment. So a lot of these people, none of them, in my opinion, should be getting married without a prenup. Like, you don't know this person. If we keep it a buck, you're hoping that it works out, but you do not know this person. So if you're going to get married, you need to do the best that you can to protect your assets if you have anything, right? So I have changed my opinion on him asking for the prenup. I think I was just so I was so quick to my opinion because it was coming from him. Boy, bye. So anyway, in this conversation, this breakup that Brittany doesn't know it's a breakup. She is talking about building a life with him and, children. And he is, guys, he's not responding to her. He's not giving her anything. And she does not see it, right? So after, they leave, because she's talking about the future and them still being together. And Devontae's like, well, I gotta leave. So I'll see you around. And she's like, yeah, you better. Girl, you will never see that man again until their reunion. It is done. He is done. So then they do their separate confessionals, and Brittany is in her confessional crying. Devontae is her person. She loves him. She knows that she's going to get married to him, and she knows that she's going to have his children. You think that man wants colored kids? He don't even like his own reflection. You think he want to reflect? You think he want to see a reflection of the child that's darker? Girl, where is the discernment? Where is the discernment? She's talking about having his children. He's talking about his biggest turnoff up from her was her already having a wedding dress. He's like, she already had the wedding dress. So I'm just like, even if I wasn't there, there was still going to be a wedding? It was just kind of weird. Even though he's right, I disagree because it's coming from him. I disagree because it's coming from him. And this is why I always say never get up under or give an unattractive man a chance. I'm telling you, you feel like he's going to treat you better because he's not the standard. He's going to treat you worse because he know what he look like and he's going to punish you for liking him. I always say it is better to get played by something fine than a biracial built like a Roblox. My God, this is going to haunt her for the rest of her life. This is going to haunt her for the rest of her life. Lego Terrence Howard played you on national TV. And this will live forever. If he looked like Morris Chestnut, it wouldn't sting as much. But no, it's Devonte. He don't even got swag. He's not the standard and he's not even cool. He corny. He's below the standard and he corny. My God, today. My God, this will sting for the rest of her life. And Devonte, we know it wasn't the wedding dress. It was the skin color. It was the Negro in her jeans. Let me tell you something. I think his greatest fear was the black in her and the black in him linking up and creating a fully black child. That's what I think that's what he thought was going to happen. I think he thought she was going to pull, the doctor was going to pull a fully black child out of her womb. And that made him sick to his core. He couldn't do it. He could not do it. But she was so happy. She was so happy to have his child. She was so happy to be married to him. I will say this. I think that Brittany wanted the wedding and the kid and the title of a wife more than she wanted him. I don't think either of these people wanted each other. I think Devonte stayed in this relationship for the show. And I think she stayed in this relationship because she wanted to be a wife and a mom. And that's it. Because even when she talks about Devonte, she's not talking about any qualities of this human being, of this person. It's always the qualities of a husband or children. So it's just like that could fit on anyone who was just there. And I think that's what's happening to her. Her biological clock is ticking. Or so she thinks, right? And she's a certain age and she feels like this is what she needs to do. Not necessarily what she wants to do, but she feels like it's what she needs to do. So any man would have fit if it was with Brittany because of what she wanted so desperately. And although I know Devonte didn't want her, I think he also picked up on her desperation. And I think he played into that so that he could remain on the show. I hope he didn't sleep with that girl. Oh my gosh. And I knew she was gone when she called Devonte the love of her life. And then she started crying over him and how much she loves him and how she can't wait to be his wife. Brittany. Oh, that reunion is going to be brutal. That reunion is going to be brutal. Poor girl is in the trenches. Oh, I hope she's no longer there. I have seen some interviews with her. She seems to have evolved. We will see. We will see. Christine and Vic. Bring it up. Oh, child. Gotta check this computer. Christine and Vic got married. Alex and Ashley. So we open up with Ashley crying over Alex, and she's like crying about how hard his life has been, and she's had a really good life, and she feels bad for him because he's had such a hard life. And I'm sitting here watching her cry over this man and how tragic his life has been, and I'm like, oh brother. Here's the thing. It's not that I don't have any compassion for Alex and the life that he has lived. However, I think he uses that to manipulate people, to get them to do what he needs them to do. And I think it worked on Ashley, because here she is crying about how hard his life has been. That's not your problem. That's his mother problem. She don't give a damn. She don't care. She ruined that boy's life. She don't care. You think because her son is crying and scamming women all over the world because of how she raised him, you think that she's going to stop her Costco delivery and turn that truck around and go save her son? No. She's going to pick up another Costco truck driving shift. She don't give a damn. And she might drop off a Rouse shipment. She don't care. If the mama don't care, why the hell are you crying? She's the only one that can fix it. You can't. You didn't create the problem. He had such a tough childhood. Oh, I didn't. Here we go. That's why y'all can't listen. If you are a woman of privilege, do not date a man who came from nothing. My God, today, because he's going to make you feel it. That man is going to make you suffer because you didn't suffer like him. Get away. And they're going to use that. You grew up with a dad that loved you. I didn't. And he's going to punish you for it. And how it starts is in that mind. Because why the hell you crying over his tough childhood? You didn't do it and you weren't there. What the hell that got to do with you? Tell him to go to therapy. His mom, she was just, dropping him off at gas stations. That's unfortunate. It's your wedding day. What are we doing? So I said, oh, brother, sucker is born every moment. Anyway, right before she walks down the aisle, she's doing a confessional. And she's like, talking about this day and becoming Alex's wife. And then she goes, I know I'm not his type. So I get that it's probably going to be hard for him because I'm not his type. I just hope, that one day I can become his type. What? Ah! The fact that she knows that she's not his type means that he has told her several times. Because I don't feel like we witnessed him saying that. We knew that she wasn't his type because the way he was trying to take Brittany down, right? But I don't know if did we witness him telling her that? I just felt like she said that, but I didn't witness her telling her that. But now I'm just like, for that to be on your mind right before you walk down the aisle, means that that man has said that to you several times. He was breaking you down, manipulating you with the childhood, the traumatic childhood. And then he's trying to bring you down a peg by letting you know you might be the standard for America, but you ain't the standard for me. And now what do? You bend and break yourself to be this man's type. He don't have a type. His type is housing. His type is benefits. His type is being taken care of. That's what his type is: resources, financial resources. His type is your credit score. He don't have no type. His type is being taken care of. That's the type. But he's already working on this woman's mind. Already got her in right before you walked in. I know I'm not his type. I get it. I know, but one day I hope to be his type. Ugh. Ugh. Them MAGA girls are living in hell. They are living in hell. I don't care how many trad wife content videos they try to show you of them dressed up in the finest garments in this big, beautiful kitchen, making their man a meal while he pays for all the bills. Y'all living in hell. You couldn't pay me to trade places with their women. Y'all are living in hell. She's sitting here crying over a homeless, unemployed man because she's not his type. You're not going to be homeless and unemployed and telling me I'm not your type. Who the hell why are you talking to me? Shoo! I don't have any change, Alex. Get away. The MAGA girls are living in hell. I don't care what they say or what they try to make you believe. They're living in hell. Hell. So while Ashley is shrinking herself, before she walks down the aisle to marry this homeless unemployed fool, the way they bend and break themselves to appease the dumbest and most mediocre men, you couldn't pay me to trade places with them women. Hell. That's why they vote the way they vote. Because if they're not free, they don't want you free. They want you living in the same hell that they're living in. They hate you because you're free, even though they put themselves in that self-inflicted prison. But they want you to live in the hell that they're living in by their own hands. My God, today. So she meets her father, and their interactions are always very weird to me. Because you could tell that she is, like, you tell that she's been crying. You tell that she's very nervous. She's constantly breathing, very heavy. He's like, "What are you doing? What's wrong? You're fine. This isn't a big moment. You had a bigger soccer moment. Like, you're a black belt. This isn't." And it wasn't, to me, it didn't come off like he was encouraging her. I felt like he just didn't see her. Or because he told her not to do. I don't know. Maybe the dad knew she wasn't going to do it, and that's why he was so chill and nonchalant. But I was just like, he just, to me, it didn't seem like he was tending to his daughter. It seemed like he was ignoring her and making it seem like she was just doing these antics. And maybe he knew that she wasn't going to do it. I'm not sure. But it just felt like instead of comforting his child, he was just being a dick. It was so weird. I'm like, you're a father. You see she's having like a panic attack. You're like, "Oh, it's nothing. You'll be okay." Okay. All righty. I will give it to Alex's mom. She looked cute. She looked cute. She must have parked that truck in front of an H&M and went shopping. That dress was nice. Body tea. Body tea. So Ashley's dad walks her down the aisle. She gets there in front of Alex. Her vows, what I don't know, like I don't know what was going on there. Just odd, very very odd. And then the officiant, then Alex gives his vows, and he's just like, "You're pretty. This is going to be fun." I'm telling you, but this is the mega couples. It's like they peaked in junior high. It's always this like weirdo jock and cheerleader girl, like varsity cheerleader girl, and it's like their entire identity is high school. That neither one of them have evolved from that. Their personalities and their education remained in high school. Those vows were so preschool. It was just ugh. It's like these are not grown adults with education. It was so ugh. Anyway, so I thought they were going to ask Ashley first, right? But I think they didn't ask Ashley first because Ashley was just like, it would be a yes for me. Like it's a yes for me. But I know, like this is in her confessional. She's like, but I know it probably wouldn't be a yes for Alex. I know he's probably going to say no. If I'm being very honest with you. And I'm like, oh, this is different. So maybe that's why they didn't ask her if she was going to say I do first, because they knew that she was going to say yes to him, which blows me. But that's the MAGA girls. They know their men are garbage. They know the men are garbage, and they know that they are not their first, second, third, or fourth choice. They know those men don't want them. They know those men want the opposite of them, but they're with them because they can control them. And they will bend themselves, they will break themselves, they will tear themselves down to be the perfect slave, and it will still never be enough. So after she, cries about Alex's childhood and not being his type and knowing that he's going to say no, she's up there with him. They both give those terrible vows. The officiant asks Alex if he says, I do. He goes, and she goes, Ashley, I know it's going to be a no, and that's okay because it's a no for me too. What? Everybody was gagged. Like, what is going on? And I'm like, I thought you were, and I do. But I think she just didn't want to get embarrassed because she knew. Like, she knew the man was going to say no, and then she watched his body language, and she was just like, yeah, I'm not going to let him embarrass me. Let me embarrass him first. So after everybody was gagged, the camera cuts to her dad, and he's like, like what? The dad was eating it up. So she tells Alex, our relationship has always felt off. As soon as we got out the pods, we became strangers. We just became roommates. And then she starts to say that, she couldn't trust him and that he was a liar. And I'm like, the thing about it was she just went through their entire relationship and how terrible he was to her and how she couldn't trust him and the things that he would say would not add up. And she went through everything that she did not like about him or their relationship. And she kept on going to the point where it was just like cringe for me. I was like, girl, wrap this up. Wrap this up, because she would stop and she would just be like, and the lies, and you were just inconsistent all the time. And then the intimacy. There was just no more intimacy anymore between the both of us. And I just could never trust your stories. And with you not being intimate with me, it would not stop. She went on forever about how horrible of a man he is. And Alex is just like, whoa, okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah. Well, a match made in hell. A match made in hell. And I promise you, if he would have never told that woman that she wasn't his type, she would still be there. But it's the fact that not only did he say it, he said it on camera. I think if it was just between him and her, she would have said yes. She would have said yes. But she knew that he was going to say no. So she just beat him to it. That's it. She knew, she saw his body language and she knew that he was about to embarrass her. So she said, before you embarrass me, let me get you first. Listen, Alex's mom was not happy. She was like, ah, she called my son a liar. Ah. And his friend was like, yeah, can you believe that? She's just like, wow, can't believe that. Like, she was not okay with the way Ashley embarrassed her son. And although Alex ain't wear change for a quarter, I get his mom, being embarrassed. Like, you know what I mean? I get her feelings being a little hurt. She's telling everybody that your son ain't wear change for a quarter. And who's responsible for that? So she telling you that you no good, that you ain't no good and you raggedy. You a raggedy mother that failed. So I get her being feeling some type of way. Here's the thing with Ashley. I'm not going to give her her tens on this. She didn't eat. She didn't eat. This was her trying to have a woman's empowerment moment because the man that she wanted didn't want her back. She was going to say yes to that man. But she knew that she was about to be embarrassed by him. So she did all of that to try to take her power back and look like it was her decision and, to look like she chose herself. You didn't choose yourself. You had to choose yourself because you knew he wasn't going to choose you. She really wanted this to be some kind of women's empowerment. I'm woman, hear me roar. MAGA feminist type mess, and them Republican women are going to eat it up. They're going to eat it up. They're going to be like, yes, she walked away. She did not let him harm her. She chose herself. She's Susan B. Anthony. He was about to embarrass that girl. And she knew it. She knew it. And if he would have never told her that she was not his type, that he liked something dark and colored, if he would have never told that man, that woman, that she would have been Miss Retired Soccer Coach. She would have been in Florida with a MAGA sign in front of their little shack, going to his soccer games, this little soccer games that he coached, sitting on the sidelines, cheering him on while he flirts with every big booty Latina mom that brings their kids to be coached by him. And she's going to look away, knowing good and well he blowing out the backs of half of them mamas. That would have been her life, and she would have been okay with it. Because that is the life of MAGA women. She would have been okay with it. But she knew he didn't want her. And she knew he wasn't going to go through with it. If her dad wasn't hip to him, if her dad wasn't Alex 2.0, he would have did it. Because this is somebody who comes from money. Easy lick. He would have did it. But that dad was on to him. So he said, I'm going to cut my losses. But if she didn't have a father in her life, if her family was all women, he would have did it. Because she was an easy lick. Easy. But that dad, that divorce lawyer dad was going to eat him up for points, and he knew it. That is the only reason why he is not married to that woman, because of that father. And then Ashley goes, had this been a different Ashley, I would have, said yes. And I would have let you treat me terribly and not do anything about it. But I'm not that girl anymore. Girl, bye. You that same girl. You're that same girl. You're that same girl. So then Alex tries to give a rebuttal. He's like, I just, I get you, but I just don't, calling me a liar. Nah, that like I don't like that, but all right, it is what it is. Like he does not know how to deal with confrontation at all. He does not like they started going back and forth with each other, and it was this weird, like passive aggressive fight. I'm not a liar, but you are. No, I'm not. Like I would never like lie to you, but you did. Your stories didn't add up, and I have to choose me. I'm glad you're choosing me. I would have said no too. So it was a mutual no. We wouldn't work. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said I didn't want to marry you. Well, I would have said that I didn't want to marry you first, but I said it first. Yeah, but I would have said it had you not. It was so childish, so passive aggressive, and it was so uncomfortable to watch. So I know the audience, their family and friends were sick to their stomach. Her bridesmaids were just like, and then it was like one girl who the camera kept cutting to, who was like cheering Ashley on, was just like, yeah, yeah, girl, your friend did not eat. She did not eat. She played herself this entire season. She did not. It did not give what it's supposed to have. Gave. It did not. It did not work out the way you guys are going to try to flip it. The way you guys are going to try to flip it, it never gave that. It never gave that. Anyway, we wrap up Alex and Ashley, and Ashley is in her confessional, basically saying that Alex was scamming to be on the show and that he never really came here to get married. She's basically saying that he came on this show for clout, which he did. Which he did. And she was just like, he didn't come here for this. He came on this show for something else. And I'm like, well, duh. Well, duh. You couldn't suss that out in the pods? And then she's like talking to her friends. One of her friends, I was like, did you know you were coming to a wedding that was being filmed? God. She looked like she was running errands. Anyway, Ashley is just like, he lost out on me. And she was like really trying to do this whole women's empowerment thing. And I'm like, no. This is not what it is. You did not eat this, Ashley. He didn't lose out on a good thing. He didn't want you. And you knew that. You got ahead of it. We all saw the places. It's not that. She's like, yeah, well, he won't be getting me. You didn't eat. You did not eat, sister. You did not eat. And then, this is the one thing I want to say about before she left the altar. She looks at Alex and she says, not choosing you is a win. And walks off and walks, out of the studio or wherever this thing was being filmed. And I was just like, you wanted this to be a moment. It's not that. You rehearsed that speech. It's not that. It's not that. I will say she embarrassed the hell out of Alex, but Alex should have already been embarrassed. And I think Ashley, I not only do I think that it was Alex's body language, I also think it was the fact that he looked so filthy at the altar, like he did not care. Alex looked like he just woke up. He did not look like he was going to his wedding. His hair was disheveled. The beard was not maintained. There was, grays all through the beard. There was crumbs in his beard. Like he just got, finished eating. He looked so dirty. He probably smelled terrible. He did not look like he was going to a wedding. He didn't. He didn't look like he washed or bathed in years. Skin was filthy and just grimy. The suit was dirty. You can see all types of crumbs and cat hair all over the suit. She could tell. She could tell. It did not look like his wedding day at all. He looked homeless. He just looked a mess. So I think she could tell right there. She saw them crumbs in his beard and was just like, he's not serious. He's not serious. But the next woman after Ashley, because see, here's the thing. Alex had a problem with women, starting with that mother, right? But now this woman and embarrassed that he has been embarrassed on TV by a woman. So his ego is bruised and he couldn't get what he wanted to get. Like, because Alex probably prepared this whole speech about how he didn't want her, and he didn't get that moment. The woman after Ashley is going to get everything that he could not give the woman in his life that he feels wronged or harmed him. He gonna put you through hell, sis. Ugh, don't get pregnant. Um, the stuff that was reserved for his mama, you getting all of it. Mm, 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 mm. The craziest thing, right, about all of this, um, first thing is Alex acting like his feelings wasn't hurt. Like when his friends were like, "Are you gonna go talk to?" Because he gets off, the altar and he's talking to his family and friends or whatever, and his mom's just like, "I don't like how she said it." He's like, "No, it's okay, it's fine. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. It's fine. We didn't work out. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." And he keeps on saying it's okay. It's fine. Like he's not hurt. He's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's cool. Like we weren't gonna work out. It's okay. We it's mutual. It's mutual. It's mutual. It's mutual. It's mutual." So his friend goes, "Are you gonna go say anything to her?" He's like, "No. Why would I? I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine." It's like, why would I'm not gonna go say nothing to her? I thought you were fine. She's a good girl. Go talk to her. Ego is bruised. That ego is bruised. But also another crazy thing about this couple is that wasn't it good just a week ago when they were playing soccer and having a fun time? Like y'all were so lovey-dovey. How did y'all get here? What happened? That's the thing. I feel like we're missing so much stuff with these couples because of what happened. If you guys are so lovey-dovey playing soccer and you're planning out your life and getting ready to move to Florida, what happened in between that time to the altar where you both can't stand each other? Why was Ashley crying before she walked down the aisle talking about how she's not your type and that she knows you're going to say no? What happened to get to that point? Because the last time we saw you, you two were on cloud nine. There's so many holes in this season. Like, I just feel like there's so much footage that we just did not get. This is such a throwaway season. My God, today, what a waste. Like, you mean to tell me these two hated each other the whole time? He just got her McDonald's chicken nuggets. What happened? My God, today. This season was a mess. It was a throwaway. It seemed very fake and forced and scripted to me. The reunion, they didn't show enough of it for me to be like, wow, it's going to be good. So I don't know if I'm expecting anything good because these reunions are always not good. So I don't know. We will see. We will see. But this, what a terrible ending to an already disjointed throwaway season. My God, today. I will say I'm shocked we got two weddings. I knew Christine and Vic were going to get married because I feel like they were already married. I feel like they ran it back for the show. Like something about them is really off. I can't put my finger on it. Hopefully, after the reunion, the sleuths can get us some tea because something about them feels really off. I wouldn't be surprised if they were married before the damn show. I wouldn't be surprised if they met before the pods and were engaged. Something is off. Something is off. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this episode. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I got a lot of comments, guys, so give me a minute as I scroll up. Shout out to my Black people in Texas. I'm sorry, but We were told to sit down. We kind of knew this would happen. We kind of knew this would happen. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. But, when the ancestors say rest, rest. It's going to work out. Politics, it's not about that. What we're dealing with is very spiritual. America is coming. The reckoning for America is here, and we can't stop it. So just rest. Just rest. Hey, Nora. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, E for empathy. How are you? Happy. It does not feel like a Wednesday, y'all. It does not feel like a Wednesday. E for empathy said, this went about the way I thought it would. I got my Shirley Temple olive oil. Yay. I got to go to Simply Wholesome because Simply Wholesome is the only market that has them. But it's, oh, wait. Am I going to the airport anytime soon? I am. Oh, no, I'm not going to that one, though. I'll stock up next week. Hey, Spency. Spency said, hey, Nikki and Star fam. I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on this mess. Brittany is delusional. The MAGAs are a hot mess. I am glad they didn't get married. Shout out to the two marriages who I didn't think would happen. And I feel like only one of them will still be together at the reunion. Hey, May. May said, happy Wednesday. So happy Nikki is having this live today. Had such a long day and seeing this chair be right on. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Guys, after tomorrow, I'm going to go on a break. I'll be back on Monday. But tomorrow, I'm going to do a live about the award shows. It's going to be at 12, my time. And then after that, I'm going to be on a break. But I'll be back Monday, and I have some fun videos and lives that I'll be doing for you guys. So it'll be worth the wait. It'll be worth the wait. Nora said the finale could have been easily 30 minutes. Yeah. There was nothing really happening. Just show us the two couples who made it and then have a little card that says all the rest of the couples that I don't. That would have been better. K235 said, thank you for being late, Nikki, because I was still finishing an episode right now. You're so welcome. And if you watch my vlog, I was running, I was a little tardy because I was at that Chinese food restaurant that me and my family love. So we went again today and we threw down. Like, I feel like that place is going to be a staple for us. But we went at like rush hour and I was just like, we should have went a little earlier. But anyway, I feel like that place is going to be our staple. It's so much food. It's so delicious. It's such a nostalgic feeling because the flavors just remind me of Chinese food in Philly. So I'm going to probably go there once a week, maybe twice. We'll see. We will see. Hannah said, wasted 1 hour watching that lackluster finale. It's bad for Love is Blind. Like, this show ain't giving no more. It ain't giving no more. K235 said, looking forward to corporately dragging Devonte, though. Ciao. At this point, can we really drag him? Because, like, it's Brittany. It's on Brittany at this point. That man is giving her nothing. Hannah said, I absolutely believe that Brittany and Devonte were paid actors. Same with Emma and Mike. They fell off. C. Golden said, outside of Vic and Christine, these were the most pitiful weddings. And here's the thing. Vic and Christine, flawless. No issues, right? Even the issues that we thought would be an issue, like Race and his family meeting Christine for the first time, like it was all love and joy. Nobody had any issues. And I'm like, a black mom, but you know what? They're Grenadian. I'm thinking of Black Americans. If Vic were Black American, the first time the family meeting Christine at the wedding, that would not happen. That would not happen. Absolutely not. But they met him and they loved him. They met her and they loved her immediately. And everybody was just like, all right, let's do this. And that's why I'm just like, if this couple is flawless, they have no issues, why did y'all give them such little screen time? This couple proves that your formula works and they look like a throwaway. Why? Because maybe you weren't responsible for them actually meeting. Something is up, y'all. Something is up. Nora said Jordan looked like he was going to pass out. Even his I do was like, I'm terrified, but well, might as well follow my heart to do so. So I do, I guess. That's what it gave. It was like it was like somebody was holding a gun to his head. If that's how you have to say yes, don't do it. Don't do it. Jalen Hayes said, hi, Nikki and Chat. What's up? What's up? Thank you, E for empathy. Deborah, what's up? Deborah said, hi, Nikki and Chat. Is there a new drink tonight? No, no new drink tonight. I gotta go to Simply Wholesome and stock up on my Olippops because my local Rouse, I never checked my local Gelson's. Any excuse to go to Gelson's, right? My local Rouse, I've had every Olipop there. Simply Wholesome is the only one that has like ones that I've never tried. And I like the Shirley Temple one, and I like the SpongeBob one. I got to see what else they got. Coco. Coco said, "What a damn mess! This is bad for business. Love is blind. Philly is your only saving grace." Hannah says this show needs to be done. I concur. I just feel like it hasn't been good for a while. Boston better bring it. I will say Boston, Atlanta, and Philly, that's a heavy lineup. That's a heavy lineup. But that casting got to get it right. And I feel like casting is screwing up your formula because now that we know that they're getting these men off of LinkedIn and Instagram, it's giving scripted now. It's giving scripted. Thank you so much, Spency. Spency, are you going to be here tomorrow? Because didn't you say your birthday was Friday? If you can't be here tomorrow, let me know because I won't be here on Friday. I'll be back Monday though. So if you're not in the chat on Thursday, we're going to sing it. We're going to sing Happy Birthday to you on Monday. Dinar said, "I'm excited for age restriction." What's that? Which age is that a show? What's that? Am I moving slow, y'all? Let me know. Jalen said, "I agree. It felt so fake." Yeah, Emma and Mike was weird. Was weird. So Steph, was there another way to identify that man? So Steph said the guy that was dating AD with the missing tooth said he was offered a bonus to continue filming. Yeah, these are giving paid actors. They're giving paid actors. Spency, I didn't want to spoil it for anybody, so we'll wait to talk about it at the reunion. But I did, and I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. Simone said the Love versus Virginia PR before the midterms is a scheme set up by Todd. Here's the thing. It's gonna be nasty in November. Yikes. Thank God I'm in a blue state. My God, today. I'm not looking at nothing in Texas in November. The Democrats in Texas are done. That's going to be nasty. Coco said there will be an America's Next Top Model docu about this show when we're in our 60s. Probably this season. But I was just like, yeah, something is off. May said, was it just me or did Vic's friends with the dreads? I thought they were family members. That guy looked like his twin. They had the same face. The same face. I will say one of his friends was just like, so what's up with her rhythm? And then was like, I'm going to have to teach her the electric slide on the spot. But, it's cool. That was a fun moment. He seems like he has a really good community. Easy, Christine. Thank God she's marrying into a family that seems healthy because girl, sister got a lot going on. So stuff is done. Hold on till Philly. I feel like Philly is going to be it for me because where else are you going to go out to Philly? Love is Blind, Texas. Oh, Love is Blind. Did they do Houston? Oh, they did Houston. It was terrible. See, yeah. Have they ever done LA? They did LA. Love is Blind, Riverside. Um, where would they go, guys? Where else are they going to go after Philly? Maine, Hawaii, Alaska. Oh, Alaska would be interesting. Yeah, where else would they go? Yeah, I think Philly should be it. Let's wrap it up. Nora said, I wait, did I click on? Yeah. Nora said, I agree, Nikki. I thought what felt especially scripted was the cast members flat out saying that they thought their fiance would say no before the wedding even started. It felt very theatrical. Yeah. Something is up, y'all. Something is up. We'll find out. K235 said agreed because why else would all these people stay on the show this long just to get to the last episode and say, I knew it wasn't going to be a yes. Yeah. And be like, we shouldn't get married. We you know, it didn't make any sense for us to get married. We're not ready. But you went on the show to get married immediately. Like that's the purpose of the show. I think they had a really hard time in Ohio finding people who wanted to get married. I think that's what it is. And maybe they just offer people incentives or just hire people who wanted to be famous. I feel like when they are having trouble casting people, they become a little lenient on some things. So normally we don't hire actors, but we will this time because you can't find anybody. And come the actors. Tifa said this season was a dud. I happen to agree. Miranda said when Jordan was at the altar, I started to feel uncomfortable. He seemed like he didn't really want to go through it. He absolutely did. I felt like there was a scene that we are missing because this whole like Jordan's whole scenes, all of his scenes, this episode was so sad. We missed a lot. Oh, Social Steph said they said that Emma and Mike had both decided to say no, but Emma pulled the okie dokie and said yeah, said yes. Here's the thing: are they able to discuss their answer? I thought they weren't allowed to do that. Nora said, I thought it was interesting that Emma's family weren't rushing to support Emma either after being told no. Everything was so odd. I felt like the family was trying to sell Emma to Mike's family. And like basically like, she'll get there. She can. And the mom was looking at them like, girl, I don't got time. I want to meet my grandbabies today. So let's move on, Mike. Jesse said, Mike and Emma were a waste of our time. How do you start and end with the same conflict? And no emotion. No emotion. Hey, Cynthia. A long time no see. Cynthia said, what bothered me about Mike and Emma was that their conversation focused on having children, but never on parenting styles or how they would raise these children. I think she just wanted to get married. Here's the thing. I think they never really discussed it because I don't think these two were ever going to get married. I think these two just agreed to do what they needed to do to stay on the show and just have fun in this experiment. I was actually shocked when they chose each other because I was just like, these two don't make any sense. How do we get here? They never had chemistry. I never felt like Emma really liked Mike. I felt like Mike just wanted a kid. It just was so disjointed, the entire process. May said Ashley was kind of annoying at the altar. Like she was trying to be Kia. Who's Kia? But it was not the same. Like, sis, you embarrassed yourself the whole season, and now you're trying to come off like you. Yeah. And this whole speech, women's empowerment speech, only happened because she knew he was going to say no. So Seth said they should have never followed Emma's story beyond the pod. She got more airtime than any other couples and they flopped. Yep. Yep. K235 said it's definitely giving scripted strangers. Yep. So Steph said, I don't feel sorry for Ashley, the MAGA Barbie. That man told you that you weren't his type and you were busted and wide open anyway. Even trying to constantly have sex with this man to like form some kind of connection. Like, I'm sorry. And I say this often because it's just, it's just trying to get you to understand the gravity of the situation. Men can't get hired to work in a morgue because even in death, women aren't safe from them. Women and children aren't safe from them, right? So you mean to tell me that there is an available coochie just waiting to be cracked in this man's vicinity and he don't want it? He put a pillow, you try to put it on him, he put a pillow in between you. You gotta beg a man for dingling. You don't never gotta beg a man for dingling. You gotta beg a man to put the dingling up. You never gotta beg for him to take it out. If that wasn't a sign, I don't know. Girl, when you find yourself begging a man for sex, girl, it's over. It's over. It's over. Look now. He's never going to get his groove back. Get out. Get out. May said, this show showed me how obsessed some men are having women give birth because it's slavery. It's entrapment. That's what it is. Remember what Offset said to Cardi B? You my baby mama, I won. It's entrapment. They beg you to have that baby. Do everything to get you pregnant. And if you and him don't work out, what he say? F you in that kid. They never wanted the child. It was to enslave you, entrap you for the rest of your life. That's all it was. It's low-key disturbing. Mike said he wanted kids because his friends have them. Like have a better reason. It's entrapment. That's all it is. They don't want them children. They don't want them children. So many women are just like, he couldn't wait to have kids. He was so happy when I told him I was pregnant. And then when I, filed for divorce, I haven't seen him since. I'm chasing him down for child support. Because he never wanted that kid. The only way he will spend time with that kid is if you come with it. If you are not coming with that kid, he will not be bothered with you. Always Prices said, facts. This is just about becoming an influencer. Absolutely. And especially now with the workforce being the way it is, baby, you're about to get a lot of people on this show that's going to play. Play for pay, child. They're going to play for pay. Hey, Ramel. Ramel said, facts. No, Ramel said, hey, Queen Nikki, I'm at work. Now, in my opinion, this season was boring. It was. Miranda said, ever since Kwame's wife started casting these guys to progressively become more lizard brain. I will say this, guys, on TikTok, everybody and their mama is blaming her for this season. They're like, get her out of there. She's doing a terrible job. I mean, is she overcasting? Because how the hell did she become overcasting? If she is like responsible for every couple that makes it on the show, they need to wrap her up. Especially, I hope she don't touch Philly. Always Priceless said, Vic and Christine are plants, and y'all can't convince me otherwise. I happen to agree. There's something very odd about this couple because I'm just like, this is your best couple. They proved the formula works and you gave us nothing. Why? Something's up. What is it? Oh, this is Ohio. Thank you so much. much. This is Ohio. Oh my God. Thank you. I want to change that. Thank you, so Steph. Always priceless. Denver was the last one, right? There's too many. There's too many. Always priceless said Emma didn't even look hurt in any way. She didn't. Emma was ready to go to happy hour. Like nobody cared. Her or Mike. Nobody cared. Mike's dad was more toe up than Emma and Mike. This show is about to be all influencers. Yikes. So Steph said Alex looked kind of mad, but he was going to tell that lady no anyway, or he was going to try to continue to grift. I'm telling you, if Ashley's dad wasn't in her life, he would have said yes. He would have said yes. May said, to be fair, Emma is adopted and seems very used to rejection. So that's a good point. Thank you for that, May. Hey, Shoni. Thank you for being here. Dr. Ann Monty said, I heard Amber and Jordan got divorced before the reunion. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. Social Stuff said Jordan has been going around saying that Amber drinks too much. The way he was pounding him down on his wedding day, he can't say nothing about Amber. He can't say nothing about Amber. Nora said, I think that Jordan was having a panic attack. He was so scared. Yeah, he should have never did it. C. Golden said that Jordan and Amber wedding with those struggle vows. Everybody had terrible vows. Everybody had terrible vows. Vic and Christine, the best couple. And their vows were like, huh? What? I feel like Vic and Christine's wedding was a vow renewal. They've been together 10 years. Something ain't right. Something is off. Something is off. Yeah. C. Golden said it was all fake. Alex didn't even bother to get a haircut or shave. He looked filthy. Filthy. I could smell him through my TV screen. Not every show needs to make it to air. This was terrible. The best thing they could have done was show us the stuff that didn't make it on the show. The cutting room floor cuts. That's what y'all should have did, because this was ugh. Miranda said, I don't know what's going on with Ashley, but for her to come on this show for a little, it must be slim pickings where she lives. Ohio is in the trenches. Ohio is in the trenches. So Steph said Jordan moved out while she wasn't home. Wait, so they really not together? Ooh. E for Empathy said, is it? What is going on? I feel like I'm fine. So Steph. Oh, wait, no. I'm trying to click on E for Empathy. There it is. E for Empathy said, is it me or was it kind of diabolical to have your young child on the show, specifically at the wedding? How can anyone say no in front of someone else's little kid? This is why I said she should just take in lovers. You can't bring that baby. You can't keep on constantly changing her environment like that. Always Prices said Amber's brother was rude. He killed her spark. I was so disgusted with him. I hope she talks about that at the reunion. That was terrible what he did to her. Hannah said Amber's brother knows her. He knows she isn't ready to get married now. And you know what? I would have respected it if he would have said that to her. Like, are you sure you want to do this? This is a lot, but to look at her and say that man is not going to want to marry you because you got a lot going on. Why would you say that? Me too. Me too, so Steph. Me too. Um, Miranda said, I strongly feel like single parents shouldn't do these shows. I am not a parent, so I didn't want to say it, but I have to agree. I'm like, you should not be doing a show where you're going to have a quickie marriage when you got children at home. You sign up for the show, but your child doesn't, and then you force them to speed run a relationship with an absent stranger. I agree. I agree. Um, Social Stuff said Jordan had a trash bag hanging on a nail on the wall in that moldy basement. I'm telling you, that home would have been it for me. I would have been like, you know what? This, because if this is how your home looks, if you keep your home like this, I know you don't do a better job with your genitals. That's where my mind goes. If your house is dirty, so is them balls. And you want me to do what with them? Okay. No, no, no. Uh May May said, it's not coming up. Come on up. May May said, I did not catch her brother saying that that's terrible. I was wondering why she said that after. Yeah, because he put that in her. He put that in his sister. He made her think that. Casted that doubt. Yikes. Um Christina said her daughter's reaction told me everything. Baby girl was crying when they said I do. Poor baby. Um Coco said, okay, so apparently Jordan and Amber agreed to say no, but then she said yes. And so he was like, well, damn, I can't say no up here. Now, if that happened, that makes sense. That makes sense. What is going on? I'm telling you, the tea that's going to come out about this season, this might be the season that breaks the show. Because nothing is adding up, y'all. Nothing is adding up. Hey, Dahlia. Dahlia said, it's going to come up anytime, guys. I think production should ban single parents on the show. I can't imagine subjecting my kids to a literal stranger as a step parent. Just met the day before. Poor Emma. I gotta agree. I got to agree. Romel said, I think it's time to let this show go. It's ran its course. After Philly. After Philly. So Steph said Devo has a fiance and a baby on the way, was dating two women at the same time. Here's the thing. I don't want to believe that he was dating two women at the same time. Here's why. I don't want to believe that he has that many options. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. Nora said Brittany is delusional. Devonte has made it so clear to her that he's not interested in her at all. And she couldn't see it. The love of her life. Wait. No way it's storming. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it's just cloudy. Thank God. I'm like, I can't do no more rain, LA. I can't. Cassandra said it was no surprise about Debo and Britt making it to the altar, but I was surprised that Britt was in such denial. I totally understand how she can't see. I totally don't understand how she can't see any red flags. She wanted to be married and have kids. If she is like deep in the church, I can see that. Because the church will make you think, especially if she's evangelical, they will make you think that that is your only purpose as a woman, to procreate and serve a man. So I wouldn't be surprised. Shoni said, I've been on Zoom calls that ended more friendly than Debo ended that conversation. He said, well, see you never. This is not funny, but girl, Read the room. And you are such a baddie being played by him. Oh, the patriarchy got these women crazy. My God, today, decolonize and decenter, decolonize and decenter, decolonize and decenter. It's the only way. It's the only way. My God, today. Um, Miranda said, when Devonte said, I'll be in touch. Like she just finished auditioning at cheerleader tryouts. I died. Like he did not want to be with that girl. And she couldn't see it. That was so sad. So sad. Cynthia said he probably could have been more direct with her. She really thought they were still engaged. I don't know. That's kind of mean. I will agree with that, but it's he didn't give her anything to make her think that. She just was in this own fantasy world of hers because she just wanted to be married and have kids. And that's the thing. You should want to. I don't think a lot of women realize that a marriage is a legally binding contract between you, this person, and the US government. It's not the relationship. Like the relationship is what you've already had before this contract. And you're only doing the contract, bringing your assets together because you individually think that it is a smart financial risk to take. That's all that is. You don't have to get married. You really, if anything, it will be harder for you as a woman to take on that man's burden because you're probably more set up than he is. The only situation I would ever say where it's just like, you're probably better off as a woman is Barnett, and I think her name was Amber. That girl was the best. Couldn't keep a job, deeply in debt, running up them credit cards. She was that man literally came in and saved her. She said, listen, my credit is bad. I can't keep a job. I like a kegger or two. But I got great boobs and I'll give you kids. And he said, well, that's good enough for me. Only if it's a situation like that. Because wasn't she evicted? Listen, she needed him. Only if it's a situation like that. And only if it's a situation where you feel like it's best for you and this person to be married concerning your children because let's say one of you decide to move out of the country and there's a lot of legal things that you need to be able, especially if you don't put them on, you got to put them on a birth certificate and all that stuff. There are things that are legally binding with these kids. So I get if you want to do that, but it's just like you don't realize you are financially and legally binding yourself to this person. You don't have to do that. Y'all could just be together. If it's just that, right? I feel like if you think it's a smart financial risk to take, then do it. If it's too risky, don't do it. Rihanna, she let that man down. She let that man down. She gonna keep on giving him a baby. Every year she gonna pop out a little ASAP. But she don't need to marry him. That's a huge financial risk for her, no matter how much she loves him. That is a huge financial risk. And she's like, I like him. I love this relationship. I love the children that we make. I don't think that financial risk is a smart decision. That's all that should be. Like, take all the pomps and circumstance and religion out of that nonsense. That's what's making you. God put us together. Did he? Because the relationships be going great. Then as soon as you get married and bring God into that relationship, all of a sudden it fall apart because God wasn't in it in the first place. And as soon as you invited him in and said, have your way, he said, I will. We break this up. I ain't tell you to get with this knucklehead in the first place. It's not the marriage that broke y'all up. It's that vow that y'all made. Y'all should have left God out of it. May said, Devo is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I can't imagine how Brittany is going to. Child. That's why you got to take your L's in silence. Take them L's in silence. Every woman is going to be embarrassed by being in a relationship with a man. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. He's going to embarrass you, right? We're the better human beings, period. And like, it's in every species. The women are just better. It is what it is. So we know what's going to happen. Why would you put it on camera? I'm telling you right now, I will have an engagement ring and a wedding band. I will have a child that looked just like that man. I will never claim him publicly. Yeah, I will be 80 on here. And I'll be doing a live stream about Love is Blind season 75. And y'all be like, Nikki, did you marry that man? We saw that man at your son's graduation. He has his heirs. That's his daddy, ain't it? I don't know who you're talking about. That's my security guard. Like, I'm never going to let you know that I'm with anybody. Because as soon as I let you know that I'm in a relationship with a man, y'all already know he embarrassed me, and I will never take my L's publicly. And every man is an L. Every man is an L. I will never let y'all know. That boy will look just like that man. And I will deny. I don't care how his mama feel. Ain't gonna let that man embarrass me. Because as soon as I claim him, watch. Nope. Dr. Amani said, I hope Brittany takes time to be single after this. She needs to love herself. I don't think she knows that. I don't think she knows she's a baddie. Yeah, it also could be environment. Like, where was she raised? So many women out there think they're ugly. You in the wrong environment. You in the wrong environment, mama. You're not ugly. You live in a predominantly white neighborhood. You better go to a liberal city. You'll clean up. Hannah said, oh. Jesus. Hannah said, Vic is faking his personality. The way his mom showed how religion isn't that deep for her. We don't know nothing about these people. So who knows? Who knows? Paige URL said, Ashley and her dad must have prepared that speech together the way he was grinning when his daughter was breaking up with that scammer. It just went on for too long. And it was just like, after the first paragraph, it was very obvious that she wanted to have this I choose myself moment. And it didn't land. So Steph said, Ashley really thought she ate with that soliloquy. I was like, girl, you should have wrapped it up. You should have wrapped it up. It didn't hit. It didn't hit the way you thought it would. Hey, Busola, how are you? Nora said, so true. Nikki, Alex is very manipulative. The only time he uses his emotions is to manipulate. He never expresses any actual authentic emotions because he's in constant manipulation mode. Yes, because he's in constant survival mode. But that's not Ashley's fault or any other woman that comes into contact with him. That's his mama. Here's the thing. I don't care how much you love that guy. He if he has any issue with his mom, back out of there. Back out of there. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Denard said, return to sender. Let her fix it. Yep. 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 So Steph said, I realized why I didn't find Nick attractive. His eyes are really close together. And Christine, I got a good look at her. The white men in Ohio probably aren't attracted to her. She's big. Oh, she is like not like you know what? I hate to say it. It, they gonna create her. They gonna create some athletes. Those two, my God, today. I know the WNBA is circling Christine's womb. My God, today. My God. But yeah, I mean, she's a big girl in size. Like, she absolutely gives Viking. But she's still like, I feel like that's like a pretty white girl. I feel like she would have options. To be honest with you, the both of them, how they are available, it would. Why did they need this show? That's why I'm like, something is up. Something is up. Something is up. Zora said, Alex's mom is holding every woman accountable when it comes to her son, but not herself. I honestly think it's just a terrible cycle. I think if Alex were to say to his mom that, he didn't like the way that she raised him, she'd probably be like, well, that's how my mom raised me. And that's how her mom raised her. That's what I think her response will be. I think she raised them the best way she knew how. I don't think she knew a better way. I think the way she raised him, like if anybody would ever tell her about that, she would like go, well, he's a boy. That's why she would just make those excuses. I don't think she realized that she did a terrible job. I don't think she'll ever realize that. Um, you are right. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Dahlia said Alex did say to Ashley's face on camera that she wasn't his type. It was during that scene where they were fighting over cleaning it. You are right. You are right. K235 said, LOL, sorry. Nikki, every time someone says, oh, brother, it reminds me of Huda saying, brother, oh, God, instead of the N word, because she knew the internet would drag her for it. Well, now she's not on TV. Now she's not on TV. Now she, my delayed, let me know. But now she's not on TV anymore, so she can call her man the N word in the privacy of their home, and he'll eat it up. Zora said, Alex's teeth and beard looked dirty at the wedding. I get you don't like the bride, but don't you have He was not going to marry her. He rolled out of bed, and through that, he looked filthy. Filthy. E for Empathy said the dad was a bit dismissive in that moment. Absolutely. He didn't care. Or maybe he knew she was going to do this, so he was just like, you're doing too much. I don't know, but it was just weird that was his reaction to his daughter having a panic attack. Something was off. Busola said, Come on. I'm surprised Ashley's dad didn't convince her to leave before the altar. Maybe he knew the wedding wouldn't happen. I agree with that because I'm just like, you knew who Alex was. I don't think that he would realistically go through with his daughter marrying him. So maybe he did know. Maybe he did know. So maybe that's why he acted like that. Denard said MAGA men. Oh my God. MAGA men are so right leaning. They've looped around and now are gay. This is very true. There's something that I forget what it's called, but there's something, and the Nick Fuentes guy, he's like the leader of that. I forget what it's called, but it's basically where the men feminize another man and explore with him sexually because they are either scared or not ready to explore sexually with a woman. And the way they justify it, that's why they love the Roman Empire so much, because the Roman Empire was very gay. And so how they normalize it is they say that that's what Roman soldiers did. They would explore they would explore each other sexually, especially when they were out to war because there were no women there. But they would all go back to be with women, but they just made do with their circumstances. So they're not gay because they're warriors. They're Roman warriors, but they would, take each other as sexual partners because it was the only option. And then they would get back from war, those who survived, and they would get with the women. And that's how they justify it. That's why they love the Roman Empire so much, because they banged each other. Them circle jerks are real. Them circle jerks are real. Yes, thank you, Cynthia. That's a better way of explaining it. Cynthia says she wanted to have her girl boss moment. She absolutely did. Alicia said he didn't he didn't shave or get a haircut. He wasn't saying yes. He looked filthy. Filthy. K235 said, but actually, if the relationship has felt off since the pause and you've been knew that he was a liar, why even let it get to this point? The relationship was off. You knew he was a liar. Why are you banging him? Why are you begging him for sex? Was that going to fix his lies? It just didn't make any sense. I don't believe it. All that stuff that she was saying is because she knew he was going to say no. El Boogie in the building. El Boogie said, hey, y'all, I'm watching from behind, but I just needed to drop in and say Emma is very much the adopted by white and raised in Ohio type. She easily puts her feelings aside because her one of two. Huh? Because what? They cut you off. What happened? I hate when it does this because now I can't find it. Sorry, it's taking forever for these comments to come up. Hope I'm not lagging. Nora said, and what she was saying about Alex at the altar didn't line up with what she told Alex to his face. When he kept lying to her, she would be like, well, I think I'm just insecure because of my past. And also, you were crying about not being his type. You were in it. Something made you know that that man was going to say no. I don't know if production told you. I don't know if you overheard a conversation. But you were absolutely going to say yes. So Steph said she went on and on. We didn't need to go to the altar for that. She could have been said that. Yeah, they didn't need to make it that far. They did not need to make it that far. Oh, here it is. This is the rest of El Boogie's conversation. Comment. She was too ethnic feeling, having too often been inconvenient and dismissed. Her reason for not wanting children is a bit of a cop out. I would say more like she just doesn't want to see herself. And also being very scared of what could come through her bloodline. But I feel like there's enough technology. If she wanted to know, she could know. Dahlia said, nah, I think she was going to say no. I think the daddy got to her and made it clear that her inheritance was on the line. He's the patriarch, remember? A daddy's girl. But she didn't, she wasn't going to say no. She said in her confessional before she got married that she was a yes. She was going to do it, but she said, I know he's going to say no. So she just got ahead of it. Um, is that the comment that I clicked on? What is going on? Nora said, yes, Nikki. She seemed to be most upset by Alex not viewing her as his type. Everything else she was ready to overlook if Alex was strongly attracted to her. Because here's the thing, especially in, those Republican and MAGA environments, a woman's looks is made to be the most important thing, right? So how she shows up. So she's been told her entire life that she is the beauty standard, right? She is a skinny white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. This man not only rejected her, he rejected her on national TV for a type that she has been made to believe is beneath her. So that's a huge check in her ego to not be the choice of a man that she desires, and the choice that he desires is a beauty standard that she has been made to believe is less than. So that's maybe why she wanted to make this relationship work, because she wanted to prove that she is above other women, the dark skinned and dark featured women. To be a blonde and being rejected for a brunette, that's a huge ego check for her. Um K2 K235 said Ashley wanted this moment to go viral, but it's still unimpressive because she already let him waste so much of her time and hours. She absolutely wanted it to go viral, and it didn't. I didn't hear anything about this. Nobody cared. Um May May said Alex reminds me of this annoying two-faced guy at my job. I would just rush out and he'd glitch out because he knew he was spreading rumors, but could handle confrontation. LOL. Alex is the worst guy to work with. The worst bro culture guy. Um, I'm not going to talk about Ashley's friend at that wedding, but I was just like, did you tell her this was going to be filmed? What the hell is going on in Ohio? I saw her and I was like, girl, you're on TV. What is, anyway? Anyway, child. And she was just all up in that camera. I was just like, did you stop by on your way to Trader Joe's? And said, let me just film this scene real quick. Ohio, what's going on? Social Self said Christine gonna look just like her mama when she gets older, and Vic going trade her in. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. K235 said Ashley was trying, she was absolutely trying to have a mic drop moment. It didn't work, because if you want to have that moment, give it to us in 4 sentences and take off. It just kept on going like you were trying to remember a script. It didn't work. It didn't. She absolutely, Shoni, wanted to have her deep tea moment. It didn't work. Hey, Christina. Christina said when she was leaving the altar and she was whispering, help me, help me, help me to her family, had me dead, because nobody came. Nobody came. I'm like, oh, y'all should have rehearsed that better. Y'all should have rehearsed that better. Dahlia said, Alex don't care. Alex don't care. This man is a sociopath. He'll move to another country and get him a new Ashley who doesn't ask questions and never knows hardships. He gives me passport, bro. Yes, I'm something with him. Um, SEO Shogun said, if this comment comes up, I clicked on it. What's going on? You know, I'm gonna write a little letter to StreamYard because this is crazy. LMAO, I'm behind, but Nikki shooed away homeless. You know what? Sometimes I be in a moment. Sorry, Alex. I don't, you know. Why you look so dirty at your own wedding? Do better. Do better. So Steph said Alex looked better in the pods than outside because his pods they have running water and food. Alex, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw Alex in person on the show, I was like, oh, that's not what I expected from the picture. I was like, oh my God, today. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I can't do dirty men. I just do not know how a woman could be with a dirty man. Like it's so I just don't understand. And Alex to me, he looked dirty the whole season. He looked his worst, the filthiest I've ever seen him was at the altar, but the whole season he just looked dirty. And I'm like, Ashley, you are begging for that dirty dingaling? Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. I'm gonna get a couple more, and then I'm gonna get out of here because my computer's freezing. I don't know why. I feel like okay, we're doing good. Deborah said Ashley is so lame. Aired him out, but wanted to marry him, and I was upset when she couldn't sit on. Oh God, sit on it. The speech didn't make her look any better than him because you would have absolutely married him if he would have told her, "I love blonde hair and blue eyes. That's my type." She would have been Miss Soccer Coach. She absolutely would have been that. Absolutely would have been that. And I heard a little birdie. Let me stop lying. I'm in white people's business. And I'm finding out now that with all of the articles coming out about how brunette is the new trend, they're only saying that because we're in a recession. And I didn't know that remaining a blonde is very expensive. And so now that becoming a blonde is becoming unaffordable, maintaining blonde hair is becoming unaffordable. Now everybody's returning to their roots and saying that it's a new trend, but it's really just them not being able to afford to keep up with being blonde. Everything is capitalism. It all leads back to capitalism. Deborah said there was a guy like that on Dr. Phil. He hated women so much and was so mad he couldn't get one. He started dating a man. He says he's straight. Oh, it's happening now, y'all. It's happening now. Men calling themselves baddies during Galentine. Remember that trend? Because we do Galentines. Now they do Galentines. We're trading places. We're trading places. There was this one video. This guy was talking about him and his guys. They doing their Galentines celebration. All the comments was just like, so when do y'all start banging each other? Because they were like, you are grown men in an apartment together in silk pajamas giving each other gifts. So when do y'all start doing the bending? Like, what's going on here? They are trading places with us. You can't go to a club without the men dancing on the tables, asking you to get them a drink. It's scary out here. It's scary out here. Ramel said, that's so true. My sister stopped dating this guy because of his relationship with his mom and family, and her friends said she was being judgmental, etc. I agree with my sister. Here's the thing, not all, but 9 times out of 10, if he don't like that mama, he not gonna like you. And what he can't do to that mama, he gonna do to you. Get out. Get out. Get out. Simply Simone said, "Y'all know my rule. I ain't climbing no man I ain't claiming no man publicly. Don't matter how many pictures are out there. He is not. I'm telling you, I do not care. I, guys, I could be doing a cooking video, a cooking live stream, and you will see a tatted chocolate arm come across the screen. I will act like I didn't see that. Oh, I'm gonna cuss him out after after my live and be like, why did you do that? I'll be like, oh, you just wanted them to see you. How dare you? I'm gonna act like that did not happen. No. The minute you claim that man, he's gonna embarrass you. You can't. You can't. You just cannot do it. Mm-mm. Security. That's not your husband. Security. Mind your business. That is my security. That's why he's everywhere I'm at. I don't know him other than that. I don't know that man biblically. Absolutely not. Now I'm gonna claim my kids. For him, girl, I seen all my aunties do it, and they happy. Mm-mm. 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 K235 said, marriage works when it's the right person. Someone who has what you need in a partner and they've already proven their commitment to you. Otherwise, it just ends up being a burden. Here's the thing. And the reason why I'm not anti-marriage. I really am not. I'm anti the fairy tale that is being sold to women about marriage. Because here's the thing. The reason why it's sold as a fairy tale, because if they really told you what marriage is, that it's like a legally binding contract and that's it, women wouldn't do it as much. But if you sell it as like this is fairy tale, that's why you get that wedding. That's why they say the wedding is for you, because it's actually your funeral. Because it's over, right? If it's financially sane for you to do it. I feel like for me, the only way I would get married is if he's from like another country, like he lives in another country or something like that. Because, and that the only way I'll do it is if we have children, because, even though I'm apprehensive about linking my finances up, if we got kids, he need to be able to have access to our babies, right? But that will be the only thing. I can't see any other reason for a woman to do that. Oh, we got married because we like each other. Why you had to sign a contract? I love him. Okay, did you need to sign a contract to say you love him? It just doesn't make sense to me. But like growing up in church, it's like, oh, God wanted you to do this, and it's all it's so much selling that to you. And I'm like, if it's so amazing, you don't have to sell it. That's what made me suspicious. See, church pushed that too hard. Y'all pushed it too hard, and I was just like, nah, something ain't right. And then they, especially with young people, they try to put like sex, that they try to make like that the like winning thing. Like it's better for you to be married instead of fornicating. But no shade, forgive me, Lord. I wasn't really into church boys. I liked me a little heathen. The church boys was just too corny for me. It was them heathens. So I could never buy into the church propaganda, because I'm just like, you want me to marry that corny dude? I can't. They just weren't, if they weren't gay, they were just corny. I can't do it. I, now I'll get one and bring him to the Lord, but the ones when I was in church, they were just so corny. I couldn't see like myself being married to them. I'm too funny and pretty and fly to be with a corny. I can't. I can't. Me? I can't give myself over to a corny man. No shade. I love that you love the Lord. There's somebody out there for you. It ain't me. I need a little a little something. You know what I mean? I'm from the Philadelphia inner city, so I need a little. I couldn't do it. Basically, that was younger Nikki. Older Nikki. Um, hmm. I'll see what a church boy is talking about. I'll have a conversation. We'll see what's going to. I don't know. Lord, the Lord is going to have to work on me. If my man is a church boy, it was the Lord. The Lord wanted that for me. But I'm just saying, I just said all that to say the propaganda didn't work on me because I wasn't attracted to church boys. I couldn't. The ones in my vicinity. Now I don't know. Maybe you guys had fun, church boys with swag. I didn't experience that. That wasn't my experience. If they weren't sweet, they was corny. So I just couldn't do it. So that propaganda never really worked on me. It was just like, oh my God, you gotta, if you don't, you gotta get married so that you don't sin. I'm like, none of these men are arousing me. Now, that dude down the street. Ooh, him right there. He got me. He ain't never been in the church, but he got your girl twisted. So that's been my problem. Not so y'all couldn't get me with the sex. That wasn't it. None of them boys was turning me on. So when you don't have that, what else do you have? There's nothing else, at least in my opinion, for women. There's nothing else. I mean, money. See, that's the thing. It got to come with a fabulous life and a chef and a nanny and a housekeeper. If it don't come with that, what are we doing? What are we doing? Mm-mm. Oh, is that what it is? Because it's what is that guy? I think he's Greek though. It's some warrior that they love. It's some Greek warrior that they love talking about him. And he was like, he had a lot of women. Troy, no, that's Helena Troy. It's some Greek warrior that let me find out. It's some Greek warrior that they love. And it was Colin Farrell did a movie about him. But he's like their idol, but he was doing the bending. When they was in war, he was doing the bending, child. He was doing the bending with multiples. And he had a little special friend. They love him. What is his name? Greek warrior that had a boy lover. Is it Achilles? Yeah, Achilles is the most famous Greek warrior from literature, specifically Homer, Iliad, known for his intense, intimate relationship with his companions, Patroclus. While often described in the context of ancient Greek pederasty, an older mentor and a younger, he was a child. That explains the pedophilia. Oh my God. That explains the pedophilia. How old was Patroclus? Hercules had numerous. Hercules? Wait, Hercules was gay? Hercules had numerous male lovers. I know. No, it's not a kid. Wait a minute. Everybody in Greek mythology is gay. Oh, everybody is gay, child. How the hell everybody become so damn homophobic if everybody was gay? No, but I was talking about Alexander the Great. While not, Alexander the Great. Alexander was a Macedonian king and warrior whose deep bond with Hephaestion was famously linked to Achilles and Patroclus. Yeah, Alexander the Great gay. Alexander the Great gay. Yeah, Alexander the Great engaged in same-sex relationships were socially acceptable. See, everybody was gay back in the day. You know what? We got to do research. Everybody was gay back in the day, which it was socially acceptable at the time. His sexuality is often described by scholars as fluid or bisexual because he also married 3 women and fathered at least 2 children. MAGA is gay. The Christianity is the Achilles heel. Oh, he had a young little Persian thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, he like him Persian. All right. Everybody got a preference of dark features. I know that's right. What Greek warrior? Achilles, Iliad, Hercules being a primary partner who served as his chariot. Yep. A young youth. I didn't know that Hercules was gay. Oh, they said that he was the love of his life. The Alexander the Great Hephaestion was the love of his life. Yeah, and he was over the great band of thieves. There were a lot. Oh my God, everybody in Greece was gay. Are they homophobic in Greece? Because that's crazy. Are they homophobic in Greece? Everybody in their mama was gay. Yeah, they got a little homophobia problem. Oh my gosh. I want when did what is the Christianity? That's what it is. God damn it. God damn it. The Orthodox Church. Of course. Of course. Of course. Child, look at what we learned. Look at what that's what it is. That's what it is. Mm, 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 mm. The men are gay. But see, the thing is, y'all would be so much more cooler if you were just out. Because truth be told, I prefer the gay guys. They're much fun. They're more fun. They're so much more fun and free. Anyway, sorry if you're just tuning in. We went on a little tangent. Kathy said, "Hi, Nikki. Haven't watched this episode yet. Just dip it in to say hi. What's up? What's up? What's up? I knew we would figure it out eventually. Just Jonda said the Vatican was a whole mess. Sex, murder, pedophilia, incest. That's what it's coming. That's what it is. Pedophilia. That's what it is. That's what it is. Uh, uh, uh. Persia to be exact, child. Actually, you didn't stand a chance with Alexander the Great. You didn't stand a chance, child. You didn't. Oh my gosh. I forgot to go on private mode. My search history is going to be I could get arrested. Oh my God, I could get arrested for my search history. Oh Lord. Well, not under this administration. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. Dahlia said the Greeks weren't homophobic, but they were sexist. They didn't think much of women, which is why they only married them for kids. But ha, ha, has anything changed? Has anything changed? Ah, my God, today. Has anything changed? Ah. Dahlia said, no, Nikki, I know too many gays who are sexist and racist too. You're right. You're right. You're right. You are right. You are right. I still prefer the gays of the male. If we're going to pick the better males, I prefer the gays. We'll start with the black ones. um, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Always prices. Always prices said men living in their truth are so much safer for the world as a whole. Just be yourself. Be who you are for your pride. I didn't know. I did not know this. Well, well, well. Well, look at what we learned today. But that's what it is. I didn't know about the looks maxing thing. I knew it was just like I knew it was they were doing a lot of gender affirming surgeries, but that's what it is. That's what it is. If your man, if you ask your man what he's thinking about and he says the Roman Empire, girl, girl. Romel said, yes, Nikki, that's true. So many people love to bring God into their dumb decisions and God breaks it up and or they stay long. Listen, that's why you be like, oh my God, when we dated, everything was fine. As soon as we got married, you tried to make that mess holy. You brought in the Bible, priest, prayer, ceremonies. If you black, you jump in a broom. You bringing the ancestors into this, and you're saying, please bless this union. You inviting everybody into this, and the whole universe is coming together and being like, you want us to bless something we never put together? Sorry, you guys are about to hate each other on the honeymoon. You would have been fine not involving God or your ancestors. The minute y'all bring them into it, well, you get what you get. You get what, if you want to stay with that man, don't bring God or your ancestors into it, especially if you black. Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask the ancestors about no man. My God, today. My God, today. Woo! Let me get a couple more. Then I'm gonna get out of here. Hold on. Give me shelter. Let's get some education. Give me shelter said, by the way, the Hays Code changed Hollywood because before the 1940s, gay, lesbian, interracial relationships and black people with respect about them could be found openly in film. They kept child abuse though. Oof, my God, today. My God, today. Ugh. Ugh. Um. Talia said, Nikki, I need to see a special live where you tier rank men. They're all trash, but how trash are they? I don't want to do that. Here's the thing. Because I don't want to be mean, right? I will say this. The best man, the best man is a lover boy. You have to get the lover boy who loves you and likes you more than you love or like him. Now, I'm not saying you got to hate this dude, right? But you have to get, I don't want to necessarily say a worshiper, but you have to get a man who knows one who women are, knows the sacrifices that you are making by even agreeing to being in partnership with him, appreciates your contribution, and knows and understands that you are adding years to his life. I hate to bring him up because I feel like this couple is becoming a standard, and I don't want them to be that. I want them to just be, normal and be able to exist in that relationship without the world on it. But Nick and Alandria, he knows exactly who she is. When he grabbed her hands and said, "My queen," he meant that with his chest. That's how it has to be. That's how Barack and Michelle Obama. He don't play with her. That's his woman down. Down. I will never forget. I was watching this interview where they were at when they went to this cafe where he took her on their first date. She did not like him. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to change my ways. She thought he was corny. She thought he was corny. She was just like, no. He was corny. He was younger than her. He was not her type. He kept on coming to her because he liked her. And she was like, no, I'm not for you. She kept on giving him, because they worked at the same, I forgot where they worked at, but she was his boss. And he kept on letting her know that he was interested. And she was like, no, Barack, I am not for you. And she kept on giving him people, saying, you should get with her, you should get with her, or telling her friends about this guy. And he was like, I don't want any of them. I want you. And she was like, not going to happen. Finally, he wore her down, took her out on a date, and she was like, he ain't had no money. But she still went along with it. So at this time, she's his boss. She's smarter than him, and she's making more money than him. She is not interested in this dude. But they went on a date, and she had a good time, so she kept on entertaining them. And there was a part in the interview where he said something like, if we didn't come here, he said, if we never came to this restaurant, we wouldn't be something. I forgot what he said. And she said, no, you wouldn't be president. Letting him know that you are where you're at because of me. And you know what that man did? Agreed. And doesn't miss a second to let you know that he is who he is today and was able to lead that nation two terms because of her. He loves her down. And he knows what her contribution is. Those are the best ones. You got to get a lover boy. Don't get no man that especially the ones that act like he's joking, but he's insulting you. Mm-mm. May you never have a moment with him where he says anything negative and it's like, oh, I'm just joking. Mm-mm. That's his heart. That's how he feels about you. So many women are married to their op, in relationships with their ops. These men don't like you. These men do not like you. They will marry you and they will give you a baby to stop your momentum. A lot of them want a destiny swap with you. Get a lover boy who knows who you are, knows your contribution. Normally, they are the ones who grew up around women. Good women, not the raggedy ones. Normally, they have a really healthy, strong female base in their life. So they know what to look for. But those are the best ones. Everything else is terrible. If it ain't a lover boy, keep it pushing. No, my man, he's not a man of many words. Okay, he's not a man of many words. When it comes to you, he a freaking dictionary. You should always know that he don't play about you. That's the only thing that I will say. I won't rank or rate them, but I will say that is the best one. That is the best one. Not nobody that's posting an ugly picture of you on your birthday and being like, she might be ugly to you, but she's the best thing ever to happen to me. Absolutely not. Not the one that's posting a Valentine's Day post of you and just being like, you've been through so much with me. You should have left me so long ago. I wasn't good to you. Ew. Ew. Get you a man that writes a birthday post and say, had I not went into that cafe and not seen you, my life would have lacked joy. You are the best thing that has happened to me. And I will give my life to make sure that yours are never dark. Chuck! Let him do too much. Let him do too much. That's my advice. The man that doesn't do enough, let him go, sister. Let him go. Get you a lover boy. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. Send it to me. Send it to me, child. You know, I grew up in the church. I got stories. I got stories. The gays in the church is messy, child. Messy. And I was always friends with the baddest gay boy in church. So I had all the tea. I had all the bishops. Ciao. Yes, I'm absolutely going to do a reunion for the live for the Love is Blind reunion. I'm probably going to do it right after. Right after. Absolutely. I'm absolutely going to do it. Absolutely. Always person said, nah, men are super talkative when they like you. No such thing as the quiet man. Absolutely. There's a lady on Threads that is going viral because she's talking about how her husband and her kids forgot her birthday. What? Girl. Absolutely not. Because they're not jokes. They're not, especially that play fight and stuff. Don't do that with him. Hey, Melissa. Melissa said, hi, Nikki and Star fam. It's early morning in Sweden. Hey. This season felt off. Yes, absolutely agree. Hope you will watch Love is Blind Sweden coming up. We have a good success rate with the couples that stay together. If it's not some weird dub, I will absolutely, some weird English dub, I will absolutely watch it. I wanted to watch the French one, but the dub that Netflix has is terrible. Give Me Shelter said Michelle and Obama's relationship is such a fabulous story, but unfortunately for women who are trying to emulate their relationship, Barack was actually a good investment. You are just with an op. That's the thing. But here's the thing. You know when you got a good egg on your hands. And for her, she wasn't interested in him at all. That wasn't her thing. She did say that she didn't start to consider him until she went to, because he was a community builder at that point. And she went to one of his community building events that he was doing. And she said, he invited her. And she said, when she went in there, she watched him not only like speak life into these people, but she said that she fell in love with how he was invested in everyone and listened to everyone and really cared about what they were saying, and left that event and that meeting and was actively working on enhancing those people's lives and taking what they said and really applying his knowledge that he had to it. And so that's what made her start to be like, oh, maybe I'll see what this guy is about. You know what I mean? She had some evidence. I feel like every woman has some evidence. A woman will build with you, but there has to be some evidence of this is a good investment. This is a good investment. That's what it has to be. Like, you know, if you're not a good investment, you got to come with money. You have to come with money if you're not a good investment. Yes, Jesse. Jesse said, yes, my husband is obsessed with me. And I'm just like, as you should be. You're welcome. Period. That's how it has to be, ladies. That's how it has to be. There was this viral video on TikTok, and this lady, she was just like, she told her friends, she was just like, my man loves me so much, he is not going to let me go anywhere without him. Like, she was just like, he is always checking in on me. It was like adorable. It wasn't in the stalker's way. And she told all her friends, and she set up a camera, and she walked out. Well, they were like in this living room, whatever. She walked out the living room and left. Not 2 seconds later, her husband was behind her. He was like, "Are you okay?" And she came in laughing, and she was like, "See, I told you." Like, that's how it got to be. That's how it got to be. You have to, if your husband goes into a room before you and you walk into their room and they're just like, "Are you so and so's wife?" You like, "Oh yeah, girl, he love you." That's how it got to be. You walk into his job and they're just like, "Oh my God, we had to lay eyes on you. He is obsessed with you." Like, that's how it has to be. You walk into his job and you tell them who you are, and they're like, "Who? Craig is married?" If he is not enamored with you, he's not it. He's not it. Oh, he's just an introvert, girl. Girl, he could be an introvert with everybody else, not you. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Uh-uh. You should bring out stuff in him that nobody can. You should go around his family and they see how he acted. They just like, we had no idea he was like this. You really bring out the best of him. Sure do. Sure do. That's the only way it should be. Um, Dahlia said, I can't stand when women complain about their men on social media, trying to triangulate us into forcing their men to do right by them. That's exactly what it is, man. Ma'am, you chose them. You deal with him or hush. Here's the thing: they come to us because they can't fix it, and 9 times out of 10, they accepted that behavior when they were just dating. So the man ain't wrong for treating you the way he's treated you because he's always been like that. And not only did you agree to the treatment, you married him and had his kids. Now you want him to be a different person, but he's not going to do that. So you're going to try to shame him into being a better guy. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Yes, Social Stuff said a man has to think that you're his dream girl and tell you that verbatim and show you. Let me tell you something. For me, if it ain't like Black Orpheus, I don't want it. I don't want it. If it ain't Louis Armstrong playing his trumpet in front of a sphinx in Egypt, in front of his wife, while she's sitting there looking, serenading his wife, and she's sitting there looking on, enamored. If it ain't like that, keep it. Keep it. He has to be. And I'm not saying obsessed with it's just like scary. I'm saying obsessed with it's just like, I need to hear your voice. Like, boy, I'm at work. Stop. What you mean you need to hear my voice? Yeah. I need to be like Brett and Tiffany. This is my apartment. This is what I had. If it's not big enough for you, I'll get something else. I'll get something bigger. What do you want? Whatever you want, I'll make it happen. Huh? Huh? If it ain't Cameron, I got a house. I'll sell it and get you whatever you want. Ah? Do you work? Quit. You will never have to worry about anything with me. That's how much I love you. And it's not about, they try to make it seem like the financial thing is what it's all about. Him making sure you're good is just love, honor, and care. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. It's not about money, it's about care. That's what courting is. So if you're courting me and you ask me to go Dutch, you're letting me know you can't care for me. At least better than I can. So why am I here? I'm the one pushing a parasite out of my freaking coochie. out of here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, we're not property. And society is the way it is because it's upside down. Everywhere else is a matriarchy, but we're freaking humans. Everywhere else is a matriarchy. Nature is a matriarchy, and it works. The only thing that's not working, humanity. Humanity. We're letting the species that should be worshiping and pleasuring us, hello, run everything. That's why they destroy everything. They're warriors. They're supposed to be the muscle. They're not supposed to be calling the shots. You think them lions are calling the shots? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're there to protect the herd and procreate. Them men ain't making no decision. Absolutely not. But let men tell the story. The lions are the king of the jungle. Okay. Okay. Have you met the women? The lionesses? Okay. You can say whatever you want. Well, who keep that lion in check? Hello. We're supposed to be a matriarchy. But it's up to the women. It's up to the women. If y'all continue to believe that y'all are beneath these men, well, everything will stay the same. Everything will stay the same. Wake up, sisters. Wake up. Well, I've had a great time talking with you all about Love is Blind and gay Greek warriors. This has been fun. This has been fun. That's it. Eats and serve peen when they want it. That's it. That's it. He don't run that jungle. He don't run that jungle. That's it. Eat and sleep. That's it. We're in wars because the muscle is running everything. That's all they know is violence. Their muscle. They don't know how to negotiate peace or run anything. All they know is destruction. Why are they running everything? My God, today. My God, today. Anyway, yes, always a good time. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow, I'm going to do an early live. It's going to be about award season. And then after that, I'll see you guys on Monday. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I love our tangents. I'll see you soon for something else. I am not excited for that reunion, y'all. I feel like they're going to play in our face. I feel like they're going to play in our face. I hope we get some tea, but I don't know if we will. Send me what you got. Send me any tea that you guys have. And send me the gaycation thing on Reddit. You know, I like a little mess. Anyway, love y'all. Good night or good morning, wherever you may be. See you.